John's from the US.
Peter's from the UK.
John lives in Kraków.
Peter lives in Warsaw.
We love Poland.
But we're not Polish. We're
Ish. Hello and welcome to Polish, the podcast where two expats living in Poland share their thoughts, experiences, and very occasionally even their wisdom. The voice you're hearing belongs to me, Peter McLeod, whilst the nicer one you're about to hear belongs to the Chevrolet to my Rolls Royce. It's the one and only Jonathan Nett. Hello, John, and thank you for being you.
Wow, Peter, your intros keep getting better and better. Good to hear from you, my friend.
And great for you to join us, and thank you for all the listeners tuning in this week. It's been super to actually look through some of the stats. It's a bit weird, actually, because I just expected our majority of all our listeners to be actually in Poland or the UK or the US, but that is actually not the case whatsoever. So let me just run through some interesting stuff with you. When I say interesting to me, it's somewhat inward looking, shall we say. I'm going to throw this to you, John. I'm going to say, outside of those three countries, Poland, US, and UK, which country do you think listens most to Polish podcast?
You said outside of Poland, US, and the UK. How about, am I hot or cold if I said neighboring countries to Poland?
Oh, you're hot.
Okay. How about a few from Germany?
Maybe I need to set you a harder quiz.
Yeah. So how many?
Well, it's actually coming in fourth place. You'll be very surprised what comes in fifth. Vietnam. Vietnam.
Oh, wow.
I know. Yeah. Big shout out to all you AI bots out there. I mean, Vietnam, who'd have thought? And then, dear me. Then we've got some odd ones. We've got Argentina, Kenya, Jamaica, another country beginning with J, Jordan, Lebanon, Mexico, and of course, Oman.
Wow, fantastic. This is great.
Yeah. And these currently in the last week, we've had more listens from those countries than we have from the UK, which is somewhat bizarre.
I mean, I'm happy. I'm all for it. So hello to all the new listeners.
Indeed. So it's really nice to know. I've got a second cousin in Oman, and I suspect it's her that's been downloading it. So if that's you listening, Tamsin, big shout out to you and all of our extended family out there. Hope you're keeping safe. John, how are you feeling after our night out last week?
Oh, our night out. Let's see. What do I remember? I remember chaos. I remember mayhem. But we made it back. That was the most important.
Yeah. My tummy felt a little bit ill in the morning. I think I might have eaten a dodgy piece of zapiekanka or something.
So, yeah, you're jumping the gun though. Let's not share our entire evening and how it ended just quite yet. But I feel pretty good. How about yourself?
My memory is actually of the next morning. I think we had a lovely time together. It was so good to see you in person. I miss you, mate.
Absolutely. Yeah, I do too. Very much so.
But, we had some beer during the recording and that was fun. It's been an absolute nightmare to edit that down. I have to say, we were rubbish last week. And I bet it's going to be one of our lowest listened to episodes.
Who would have thought alcohol does that? Yeah. So.
Well, I thought it makes everything better, but it seems not. It really seems not. But I loved spending the time with a man I adore in a city that I adore. It was fabulous.
It was a good time. So we should talk a little bit about it. We should tell them what happened on that fateful night.
You know what? I mean, they're going to be really disappointed when they hear it was just like two old men went out for a beer and had some cheese on toast and then went home to bed. I mean, what's your take on it?
I think it was pretty good. We still had the chance to walk around, and let's not forget that at the end of the evening, remember, this is in April. What happened? Do you remember at midnight? We were caught in the middle of a snowstorm.
Oh my gosh, of course it was. It was snowing. Yeah, you said it was snowing heavily. This is a man who's lived in Norway through the winter, and there's like 3 flecks of snow, and he's like, "Oh, Peter, it's snowing heavily."
It's okay. So maybe it wasn't a snowstorm, but it was definitely snowing.
It was definitely bloody cold.
And so what else did we do?
Well, we sat in a bar. I remember there was like a basketball match on, and most of the time I was saying how shit basketball was, and you're saying how great it was. I feel like we've kind of wasted our time together there. What little time we do have.
It was towards the end, I think, is when we were running low on on energy.
Yeah.
But how did we between? You know, we were maybe digesting because what did we do in between? What is that tradition that I like to do?
Well, I feel like this. You did something to me, and I've forgotten it. I mean, is it anything to do with eating?
Eating and what else?
Oh, drinking.
Uh-huh. So
So you
what was
gave
that combination?
you forced me to drink a cherry liqueur in your favorite
Yeah.
bar. What's it called?
Yeah, it's called it's called Piana Vizhnya. And yes, we know it's a Ukrainian owned bar. It's very delicious, warm or cold cherry liqueur. So what did you think, honestly?
Shout out to all those Ukrainians listening, of course.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
would
yeah.
say I don't know whether it helped my overall condition, shall we say. Once I've picked beer, I should have stuck to beer. Then you throw in this amuse bouche halfway through the night, and I think my dials started going over the rev limiter, shall we say.
But to fix that, what did we do afterwards? We went for a delicious
Zapiekanka in the
zapiekanka.
place that you recommended a couple of episodes ago. Okranga?
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
I think you're close. I'm not
Mm,
gonna help you because I want you to fall off this cliff on your own.
yeah.
What did you have?
I think I think it was quite meaty. I think my judgment had gone by then. I went full meat.
I remember you spilled most of it on your shirt.
No, John, you did the spilling. There was cubes of feta all around you. You know, it was like one of those crime scenes when the body is removed, all you get is the outline, and it was the same with you. There was just the outline of your feet picked out in feta cubes.
So, anyways, how did it end, Peter?
You're keeping the listeners in suspense here. As far as I remember, nothing happened. I slept on your couch. Is that it, or do you want to
I
add some spice to the story?
No, I think that's it.
Mm.
That's pretty much it. You snored, you
You snored.
slept,
You slept.
and and then the next morning we had the great occasion. Well, Peter brought us to where?
Well, it's a place called it's in Plac Stepanska. It's called Scandal Royale. I
Mm,
think we ran through all our Kraków highlights last week. I think we should really add this one as well. Um, so we went for the traditional British hangover cure, which was dirty great English breakfast.
mm.
Yeah, the plate comprised, John. Do you remember what we had on there?
Okay, so here we go. I would say definitely the beans. You had
Yeah.
the two different sausages. You had a
Two different
yeah,
sausages. They weren't
yeah,
just
yeah.
any beans, they were Heinz baked beans,
Aha, Heinz baked
specific
beans.
brand. Yeah, fried eggs we had.
Fried eggs. You had the two different sausages, so one
Hmm.
Polish, one, let's say British style. Which
Yeah.
you maybe tell us real quick. What were the two key differences?
One was cured. You could say that's the sort of the Polish or continental style, and the other was raw, chopped up meat of unknown provenance, sort of cooked from raw,
Mm,
which is more the English style.
okay, okay. Then we had toast and butter.
Toast and butter. Let's not forget bacon.
Of course, the bacon. Bacon's important. But you did say we had an imposter. I remember that.
Yeah, an interloper,
Mm.
interloper. How do you say it,
An
John?
interloper, I would say,
Thank
but
you.
maybe it's different for
Uh,
you.
in the form of hash browns. Now the nation is divided on this topic, but I would say for me personally, those hash browns were a welcome addition. It's kind of like
So
further vehicles to soak up any of my previous sort of last night's unhappiness.
right, right. I think the hash browns should have been incorporated, all
Mm.
along. They're just
Yeah,
perfect.
they
They're
did sit
perfect.
nicely in that set.
It's fluffy yet crispy clouds of goodness. Mm.
My God, you should join the Hash Browns marketing board. And there was also something billed on the menu as a breakfast cocktail, which I quite like the idea. They'll find any way to flog alcohol to us, wouldn't they?
We did have to have a small hair of the dog, and we went
Yeah.
for a Bloody Mary.
And it was bloody good.
Was bloody good.
I think we both recovered very, very rapidly after that.
I think so. We went for a nice walk. So let's tell the listeners what should you do after a hangover.
Well,
Where should you go?
first of all, I want to doff my cap to Scandal Royale for supplying us with such a fabulous breakfast. And it's, they join the long list of businesses we're giving a free plug to.
That's true.
So, to all you listeners in Vietnam, if you ever come to Kraków and fancy an English breakfast, definitely that's the place to go. You're welcome. So we went off a little wander, didn't we, around Rynek Główny.
Good. So it's the center for anyone who's curious.
Absolutely, yes, the main market square. We found this little place called Passage 14, Passage 13, which is like what would you describe it, like a high-end shopping mall?
Shopping mall. That was a little bit of Texas accent from you there just now.
Shopping mall? Sorry, you're going to have to help me with all my pronunciations today.
So are you talking about the long hall? In the very center?
No, we're not talking about Sukinica. No, it's just kind of a little bit touristy. We go down a path less trodden. This is that little place where was the high-end boutique shops, which has been wonderfully renovated and incorporated some of the old brickworks. You remember now?
Okay, I see. Yes, I remember. It was very beautiful in there. I mean,
it was.
The high-end boutiques, maybe not so much in my bracket.
Well, you're in the market for a high-end man bag, aren't you?
That's true. You don't let my partner hear that.
Well, it's a good look.
It is a good look. Thank you. If she's, she'll probably listen to this episode, I hope.
Let's see.
Could you? Yeah. So say that again one more time. Do you think I could rock the man bag, man purse?
I think so. Man bags are made for you, John. You're such a stylish guy. That would just top it off perfectly.
Oh, Peter,
little
that was
brown
great.
leather one, or fake leather for those of that persuasion. So yeah, we definitely recommend that. And then we sort of wandered through, and we entered this place. Well, it's a beautiful church called Basilica Dominakov. Dominakov. Yeah, Basilica Dominakov, right. Which I think visitors to Kraków would probably know as it's one of the great churches that sits slightly behind Mariacka. But we kind of sort of pushed open a creaky door, didn't we, and found ourselves wandering through these cloisters.
A few cobwebs later, we pushed through and found ourselves in a hidden area of the church.
Yeah, it was beautiful, peaceful. There was a dodgy bloke in there, but we won't talk about him too much. But it was the artwork on display was extraordinary, quite incredible. And quite disturbing.
Kind of nightmarish.
Do you remember that one? There was like all these blokes standing around in a circle holding their own heads in their hands, severed heads.
And one guy in the corner just laughing, pointing. I don't know what that was about.
I don't even think he did the severing. I think it was just, it's just thanking his lucky stars. It was, he was still headed. And then the other
the next
one. Oh, yeah, that was... it was like, well, I got my Latin English translator out at that stage, didn't I? There was a little inscription on the bottom, and it explained that the painting depicted the Greek myth of Procne. Now, this is something I've done a little bit of research on still. The Athenian princess Procne, who was married to Tereus, king of Thrace, Thrace, Christ almighty, what's happening with my pronunciations today? He chopped up and cooked the son they had together.
Just chopped up in little pieces on a beautiful painting.
Actually, the way it was depicted, it was quite big chunks. You had the legs in one part, and you had the arms in another. And anyway, that was in revenge for him abusing her sister and pulling out her tongue. It doesn't really get much worse than that into family fallouts, does it? Oh God! So she told him only after the meal that the provenance of that delicious young meat, which is kind of where it all really then started to kick off. We didn't get this in the painting, but before Tereus could wreak his revenge on his wife, the gods intervened. As they do.
Yeah. And what happened? Did they save the day?
They did. They turned her into a nightingale.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. There is a Polish angle on this as well, which I'm kind of concocted. The gods turned Tereus into a hoopoe, which is a wonderful bird. It's like a strongly coloured, stripy bird, very, very rarely spotted in the wild in Poland, but it does pass through here. But my wife and I saw one. We were actually out on a little walk during I wouldn't say during lockdown because it sounds illegal, at the time of the pandemic, taking a little sneaky walk in the Pianina Hills. We saw one
Yeah.
of these beautiful birds standing on the path in front of us, and got me kind of interested in bird watching at that point, or birding as they call it.
Yeah, you're
And
about that age for it, so.
yeah, I got nothing else going on in my life. So absolutely. So I'm sitting on the balcony with my binoculars out every day now. Get some interesting stuff in the apartment in Warsaw, that's for sure.
The giant binoculars.
Yes, so John, isn't it about time we moved on to?
Polish thing of my week.
So this is the bit when we talk about our recent experiences living in Poland. So John, have you got a thing of the week for us?
I do, Peter. So this thing, Polish of the week, I would like to talk about. It is about Polish wines.
Ooh,
Okay.
wines.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, delicious wine. So when you typically talk about Polish wines, I don't know about you, but many people from Poland typically tell me they're not a huge fan. It's kind of expensive. They're new to the market, right? A lot of these wineries are new, but we had the chance to go to 4 different wineries, and in the let's say the Małopolska region, right, and a
Mm-hmm.
bit of the Podkarpa. Oh my goodness, here we go, Peter, help me out.
Oh,
Podkarpackie.
Podkarpackie, very good. Yeah, it's sort of in
Yeah.
the south of the country, right?
Yes, yes, southeast,
Mm-hmm.
and
The balmy south.
yeah. So we really kind of stuck around though in the south area of Tarnów. So 4 different regions there. They had a lot of white wines,
Okay.
both dry and sweet, and a few reds. So, and they were great. They were fantastic. A lot of snacking along the way because, as I mentioned, 4 wineries is nothing to joke about.
You need to
You
keep your
gotta.
head straight.
Oh yeah, yeah. So we went with another group, people we already knew in a shuttle bus. So for those who know about shuttle buses in Poland, typically the moment you set foot inside one of those, just prepare yourself. This is when the fun begins. It's not only the location of the winery, but it's getting there is also quite fun and a lot of
That's it.
tasting.
All part of the adventure.
So there you have it. We spent a day trying different wines from different regions, different wineries. Very, very great. We brought back I'd say 2 or 3 bottles, and I recommend it to anyone who's visiting this area, or do something different. You always hear about the same tour guides or tour events in outside of Krakow,
Yeah,
but I would say
we're always sold the salt mine, and which is great, and we're
sure.
always, obviously the Auschwitz camp as well,
Yeah,
which is
yeah,
something that is more of a pilgrimage
right.
than a destination. But
Str-
yeah, I agree with that. It's nice to sort of broaden the horizons a bit.
I fully believe with the right marketing, they should
Mhm.
start. They will probably start more and more tours around Poland, and visit different wineries. This is definitely a thing. The market is changing. The climate in Poland
Mm.
is definitely changing. So you have a lot warmer areas now to grow the right grapes to make this certain wine. So yeah, there you have it. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's interesting what you say about the climate because the South don't have it all to themselves anymore. The
Mm,
Mediterranean
mm,
countries,
right.
it's coming up through the warm band, and the
Hmm.
good soil is making wines from Central Europe a lot more palatable by all accounts.
Yes. Yes.
In fact, and not many Polish podcasts go by without us kicking the French. Um, some of the best champagne is produced in southern England, and the French are a little bit upset about it.
I feel like you're just making this up.
I could say Google it, but that's not really a great content for a podcast, is it? Well, that was
No, I
great,
believe
John.
you.
I'm gonna pick next time I'm out in a restaurant or in the supermarket. I'm gonna pick out a Polish wine, and we can compare notes.
I think you should just give it a try. I think people should be less afraid of trying Polish wines. Of course, as I said, the price might be a little higher, but that's because it's new to the market.
Mm, great, thank you for that, John. Do you want to hear my thing of the
Yeah.
week?
So, Peter, how
Mm-hmm.
about you? Tell us your thing of the week.
Oh, that was almost unprompted. I would say that my thing of the week is a bit less specific than yours, and it's just generally how people react to me when I try and speak Polish to them. Um, I am relatively basic, even though I did pass that B1 exam a few weeks ago. It
Uh-huh.
doesn't make me a particularly competent or confident speaker. And, I get some funny reactions. Sometimes, for example, in Warsaw, I could speak in Polish and then I'm answered immediately in English,
Mhm.
like when I'm checking in at a airport or something like that. Which is kind of, I like to use it as an excuse or an opportunity to practice my Polish, and that's immediately taken away from me.
Mhm.
Um, Sometimes the opposite is the case when my opening salvo has been so good that they answer so fast and rapidly as though they're talking to a local that I have to say, well, stop, przestań, nic nie rozumiem. And that's also not really ideal. Sometimes they like, this happens probably more out in the provinces, in the villages, they just stare at me like I've come from another planet, which is fair enough, you know. um,
So you feel like you still need a little bit of practice then. You're still
Yeah,
not
I
quite there
do.
yet.
I haven't quite pitched it correctly. I mean, the worst one, I think, it happens probably more when I'm in fact, I noticed it happened a couple of times last time I was back in the UK and,
Mhm.
there's a Polish guy there, you can hear him talking, or there's a lady in a shop or a guy in a bar or something, and you hear them talking, you just kind of spin round and chat to them in
Mhm.
their own language, and they just like laugh at me talking in Polish. They go, what are you talking Polish for? You're in England now, Um,
Uh-huh.
yeah,
Okay.
again, not really.
Right.
Um, I think the best reaction of all, though, is probably I'm going to use my fishmonger as an example. Is he's almost like disarmed by my ability to communicate with him, and then he's interested in where I'm from. Skąd pan jest? Where are you from? And pan ładnie mówi po polsku. How nice you speak. How nice you speak Polish. And it just makes it a very nice, warm and joyful occasion. But I still think he's fleecing me for. It's cash only in that fishmonger. I don't think. I think he's like a smiling assassin. I think below the counter, he's absolutely sticking some zeros on the end there. But maybe I should approach him for sponsorship. Uh,
Sure.
all you
You could.
Argentinians coming here to buy fish, cash only. Oh dear.
Oh, but that's a good Polish thing of the week. I think you're.
Mm.
I mean, how's your confidence in
Confidence is
general when you're?
growing. Yeah, it's growing.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm
Good.
feeling. I'm
Good.
feeling like my life is enhanced. My life in Poland is enhanced by it.
Okay. Okay. See, that's good for anyone also listening. Yeah.
That's my
If you
thing of
want
the
to
week.
get. Yeah, that was great. That was great thing
Mm.
of the week. Thanks for
Thanks,
sharing.
John. Thanks for saying my thing of the week was great. So it's about time we went to.
3 in 10.
That's right, 3 and 10. Now, John, there's no other way to say it other than shit gets real. Because last week you changed the rules.
We did. We did. What remind us
Remind
what
us, because you
happened?
haven't listened to last week's episode, have you? I
Well,
would
I was
say,
part of it.
yeah, it doesn't necessarily mean you were listening. Certainly by some of the answers you gave me. Anyway, so the thing is, we were going to go to the first to 20 has to
Yeah.
do a forfeit, but then you said no. The first who's got a lead of 2 has to do
Yeah,
the forfeit. Now you're
that's
currently
right.
leading by 1, so if I fuck
Mm.
up today, I
Mm.
do the forfeit. It feels it's
Mhm.
coming too early, and it also
Mhm.
piles immense pressure on me
Oh,
to
of
get
course, of
to get
course.
this right.
And also let's put a reminder that what sort of question did you ask last episode?
Yeah, we took a little trip. We caught a little virtual aeroplane
Mhm.
and we flew into Oregon, your home
Okay,
state,
that's
and we
right.
asked you some Oregon-related questions, and you were like, bang, bang, bang. You gave me like 5 in 10. You were so good.
That's right. So in this case, as I love to over-explain 3 and 10
Mm.
before I actually ask you the question,
Yes.
this time we're gonna
Mhm.
take the plane and go over to your side of the pond. Are you ready?
Oh gosh, no. Yes, I'm ready. I mean, I don't know. Should we
We're
see?
So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna get a bit more specific
Mhm.
related to Ipswich.
Oh,
Now, Peter, because
yes.
this is a 3 and 10, we can't do 4. We have to obviously do 3.
Oh,
So
I see.
right
We don't.
now, I'm setting into your head that you
Mhm.
have to pick only 3 directions.
North, south, east. Oh.
Exactly. Here we go. Think Ipswich, think the directions. Give me 3 cities. You can only choose one direction in each. 3 cities around Ipswich. Go.
North would be Norwich. West would be Cambridge. South would be Chelmsford.
Okay. So we need to check this now. Cities around Ipswich. Is Cambridge
Mhm.
really close or around Ipswich?
It's the first city you hit when you go east.
Okay. So we're double checking our facts right now, ladies and gentlemen.
There is a cathedral in Bury St Edmunds, but I don't think Bury St Edmunds is classified as a city.
Okay, so Peter might have to edit out my clicking of the keyboard here, but okay, let's hear it again. Tell us
So
your answers again.
north was Norwich.
Norwich. Okay.
We hate Norwich, by the way. Sorry to all our hundreds of listeners in Norwich.
Okay, so
Um,
Norwich. We're just, you're gonna have to do. Sorry, you're gonna have to do some
It's good.
editing here.
Yeah.
Okay, it's quite. Yeah. I mean, close or around Ipswich, we'll allow it. That's a bit far, but we're allowing this.
Can I just make a proviso here to tell you that there are no cities in Suffolk, so the American description of a city isn't the English description of a city.
That's right. So in that case, if you look at the maps, you're absolutely right. So Norwich is the first one going north. You are absolutely correct.
Yeah. And then
Next
going
one.
west is Cambridge,
Yeah,
city of
yeah.
Cambridge. And then south, I've gone past Colchester because Colchester is a town.
Is it
And
still considered
yes,
a town?
yeah.
Okay. I see.
Because there's no cathedral in it.
Okay.
And that's the definition of a city. And then you go so the one below that would be Chelmsford.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we're good. I think he got it. Say that again.
Chelmsford.
Chelmsford. Let's see. I think, ladies and gentlemen, Peter has got his point.
Oh, thank goodness
Hooray!
for that. Can I say I found that unfeasibly easy?
Yeah, I mean,
Mhm.
I think you did great. I think
We know our hometowns, don't we?
We know our hometowns. I think we just wanted to double check that you weren't an imposter and didn't actually come from Ipswich. So that was your test, and you passed.
So the good news is it's now 6-all, or it could even be 5-all. I seem to have lost count, but I know that we're level. This is episode 13. So maybe it's 6-all because we did a Frankenstein episode last week with no 3 and 10. And
That's right.
Yes. So or the week before, to be honest. So okay, that was 3 and 10. 6-all. We go on. You know what we need now?
What do you think? What do we need now?
I think we need a bit of an ad break.
Oh, all right. Let's go to an ad break.
See you on the other side. Welcome back to part 2 of episode 13 of Polish Podcast. Great to have you joining us today. Thank you so much for all you listeners who tune in. Many of you have told me you listen to every episode, so I'm really, really pleased. Thank you so much.
That's great.
Oh, I don't know about you, John, but I'm feeling a bit hungry. Do you think it's time for our
food of the week?
Okay, so Peter, I want you to close your eyes. Close your eyes now.
They're closed.
I want you to I want you to imagine you're grabbing this piece of cheese named Ostipek. Yeah.
Oh,
This
yes.
piece of cheese Ostipek, as you take a small bite, you're gonna start tasting salty, smoky, a bit of tangy flavor to it. Can you taste that?
Oh,
Now
very
the
much so.
texture, they say is slightly elastic, right? And it's
Yeah.
a very chewy cheese. But as we mentioned earlier in the podcast, when you have the chance to add this to, again, let's say a zapiekanka, and it's nicely melted, you get those fragrances.
You do.
From this delicious cheese, again called Ostipek. It is a traditional smoked cheese, specifically from which animal, Peter? Could you remind us?
That would be the sheep, John. I'm no,
That's correct.
we're not scripted because I've still got my eyes closed, so I'm not looking at any. Can I open them? Can I at least open one? now?
All right, you can open one.
Thank you.
And this this Ostipek is, traditionally made in the Tatra Mountains, south of Poland. They typically make it, I would say, around, between May and September. So when the sheep are usually grazing the beautiful mountains of Tatra. Um,
Before I came to see you last week, that's where I was, and I was
mhm.
thinking of gifts to bring you. Of course, I ended up bringing you beer, but
Yeah,
I
that's
was looking
great.
for ostepek, and my wife said, "No, don't take any because it's not really the season yet. You know, it's likely to have been preserved or frozen. So wait, you know,
Very good.
if you're gonna take some to John, make sure it's fresh." So, yeah, I
I'm
get what you say about the seasons.
I'm very happy. She knew all about it.
Hmm.
Obviously, from the time to buy it.
Well, she's a
Um, I,
Goralka, so she's a Highlander,
mhm.
born in that region. And my mother-in-law's favorite kind of pizza is pizza po goralsku, which is ostipek and cranberry sauce on top. Absolutely
Mm.
delicious.
And actually, let's jump on that real quick. Let's not give such little detail, but what can you tell me since you mentioned the Goral culture? What else could you say about that? What do we know about this culture? Anything?
Yeah, they're so the Gorals would they don't respect national boundaries, so you'd get them in the on the southern side of
Mhm.
the Tatras as well. Inhabitants of the lowlands of the Tatras, yeah, they eke a living traditionally, living off the land, and sheep farming is very much part of that, and they have their own distinctive style of dress with a very interesting wide brimmed black hat, and they've got a little band of seashells around them. Interesting. You couldn't get further from the coast.
Yeah.
Um, and
Yeah.
there's a traditional means of transport, which is the rafting. So they'd
Uh-huh.
strap together logs and raft them down the Dunajec River, for example, and they'd use that as a way of conveying goods. And nowadays, it's a great tourist attraction where they took tourists down into the village of Ściavnica. It's a really really great day out if anybody wants to do that. Highly recommended.
Yeah, and I think all of this, spoke especially. I think it's now protected, right, by the
Yes, it
EU.
is. Yes, yeah. And there's a very distinctive musical culture as well amongst these people.
Yes.
Very violin heavy, very folky. And interesting fact, I was actually at the Christmas Eve church service, and Nigel Kennedy, the internationally renowned violinist, was playing. He joined in with a group of local violinists
Oh.
to provide the accompanying music, and he played his violin, and this is only for viewers, in the traditional way, tucked under the chin, whereas the Gorale tended to hold theirs away from the body and play it sort of out, almost like
Okay.
freestanding, which is quite an interesting technique. It gives it kind of slightly distinctive, maybe, fingering technique is slightly different. It gives it quite a different set of sounds. But
I think.
quite extraordinarily, a Christmas tree fell down on top of Nigel Kennedy mid-service.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh.
I'm just thinking what his insurance company might think about that Stradivarius, whether it was covered or not.
So, yeah, you're definitely speaking about all of this. You're giving me a good incentives to go back to perhaps Zakopane and eat some more of this ostipek here soon. We're almost in May as well. Now, listen to this. Ostipek, the history dates back all the way to the 15th century. Yeah, yeah. So, and I would say the shepherds. How do you say shepherds in Polish, Peter?
Please don't put me on the
So,
spot.
go,
How do you, have you got it in front of you there?
I'm afraid I'm probably going to pronounce it quite badly, but it's just BACA. So would that be
Oh,
Batsa?
Patsa, yeah. So
Batsa?
you've got the problem with the pronunciation. I've got the problem with just remembering words
Just
altogether. Just the
and then
vocabulary.
that's right. And it's traditionally produced in little. It was traditionally produced in mountain huts known as. So maybe this would
But
be batsuvka.
Patsovki. Uh huh.
But yeah, I
Yeah.
guess plural batsuvki.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's
and
right.
as you said.
I think we maybe failed to say that it's a smoked cheese. Did we say that?
No, I did. I said it.
It is.
And
Good
then the
lad.
cheese. Yeah, and then there we go. And we said the cheese's distinctive decorative patterns, right? They come from little wooden molds. It's so very cute, very they're beautiful. Normally I would say, oh, here we go. You go to France. France has delicious cheese, but
Hmm.
they don't have those cute little patterns on there.
No,
They
they
just
don't, do
they're
they?
either
Bloody French.
no, those damn French. So there
I'm
we
only
go. We
saying
had
that
to
because
include.
we've only got 0% of listeners from France for some reason. I don't know why that
For
could be.
some reason. I
For
don't know why.
some reason.
So, so there you go. There you have it. Today's food of the week. I was very happy to choose ostipek.
Thank you, John. It's a great addition to our volume of food works. Well, ladies and gentlemen, one more thing remains before we let you get on with your days and get out to celebrate Majówka is...
Hey now! A Polish fact you didn't know you didn't know.
That's right. Hey now, that's the trumpet call from the mariacki in Kraków, and it's also a little play on words because we say, "Hey now, let me tell you something about Poland or Polish." And one of them is the word in Polish, which is no, which can sometimes mean yes. So no means yes, is what I'm calling this section.
Okay.
It has 5 meanings, John. And 5 meanings, listeners as well. I'm not just talking to you, of course, John.
I would imagine nothing less from the Polish language, Peter.
Exactly. Yeah, nothing's as straightforward as you think. So first up, you could say no as a sort of like to start a sentence. So it's kind of equivalent to like well or so, like a little filler to get you
No.
underway. No, co to robisz? Well, hey, what are you doing? Simple. Yeah. Then you've got the kind of an impatient no. I like this. This is quite Polish. You got your come on.
Okay, go ahead and say it.
No, chodź już. Get a move on. Hurry up. You can hear that foot tapping and anxiety. That sort of impatient Pole just behind you. Number 3 is like a no of surprise or disbelief.
Okay. No.
Something. I'm trying to think. No, nie wierzę. Well, no, I don't believe it. Or something like a bit more polite, like no proszę. It's like, look at that. No, look at that.
No.
Yeah, astonishment. And then this is a good one as well. This is like a resigned no when you kind of give in. It's like no dobra. Okay, fine. So you can hear the sigh that goes with that. Oh, and then there's a sneaky one at number 5, which we're going to call the agreement no, which is why, no means yes. So you ask somebody, do you want some tea? Chcesz herbatę? And they reply no, which means yes. So, but I think the tone is everything there. You want tea? No. And I think accompanied with a nod probably gives it away, doesn't it?
Okay, interesting. So 5 different ways. I need to start practicing these. Use it on you next time.
Oh no. I would say,
there it is.
Hey, Polish, you blimming tricky language, you.
So that was that your hey now?
That was my hey now.
That was a great hey now. I think, you're also helping the listeners if they're ever interested.
Yeah.
As we said when we first started this podcast, perhaps we'll hopefully help them a little bit here and there,
And the fact that it was quite short this week is also quite good as well, isn't it?
They definitely appreciate that. I know I sure do.
Yeah, I know. We got stuff to be getting on with, right? Like day jobs.
We did talk about wineries at some point during this podcast, and guess what, Peter? There is an experimental blueberry wine waiting for me to taste.
Oh my word! And if I can reference back to a previous version, a previous episode of Polish, I would describe that as a bezczelnie, which is like a profanation. Blueberry wine is not even wine, John. I'm with the French on this.
I know, but
Viva, viva. What?
If we had more time, I would definitely get into a little debate about does wine, of course, it's always been about grapes, but is it such a crime to start extending out to maybe other, we don't have to get crazy and use, I don't know, watermelon or something or some papaya wine, but blueberries are still quite close to the family, I would say.
Yeah.
So let's start thinking about what else can we think about. So I just said blueberry. What else other than grapes?
I've immediately jumped to the thought that's jumped into my head is we don't call it wine, we call it wine-ish. But then that's just my Polish podcast obsession coming to the fore there. So my father-in-law used to make wine using aronia, which is in English chokeberry. So he used to blend that with grapes to give it like a dark, rich red flavor and taste.
That sounds great, and I think the importance some people might say, well, if you're using something else than grapes, does it become a liquor or, but I think he probably kept it right at the same percentage as the wine. I mean, I know this blueberry, quote, blueberry wine that I have, it's still probably in the 12, let's say between 10 and 12%. So
yeah,
let's
makes it
see.
whiny. Makes it whiny.
Let's find out. We'll find out on the next episode if I have brain damage.
Oh my
Until
goodness
next
me.
time.
If the listeners can possibly wait that long, maybe check out the blog. If John does die, that'll be where you hear about it first. Where can they read our blog, John?
Oh, they can definitely read our blog on the internet.
Any particular section of the internet?
I would say probably pol-ish.com.
No, not quite. It's whole-ish.eu.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, shoot. Very good. I'm glad you're not swearing like you were when we were off air. And also, people can write to us at
peter@pol-ish.eu.
And, of course, now we can just say goodbye to everybody and let them get on with their mayufka. And, of course, it's a triple celebration, isn't it? We've got the the triple crown of Svienta. We've got Gin Flaggy, where, everything's red and white. We've got Gin Konstytucja, which is celebrating the oldest constitution in the world. And you can Google that, and that one's right, not like any of the facts I gave you last time. So it's a triple whammy. Let our people go out and paint the town red and white.
Great. Enjoy, everybody.
And until then, all you have to do is to remember that we're not Polish.
Yes, we are Pole. Let's try that again.
We don't need to. That was great.